is it to live in New York in your 30s?
Good day, my friends. We are currently on the way to meet my family at Carbone, and I thought it would be fun if we do a little Q&A between Jürgen and I, and we will talk about our experience about living in New York and what it's like. So to give you a bit of context, I came to New York in my 20s, and my experience in my 20s was very different, I mean obviously, than it's now, but it was very much party focused. Like, to be honest, all I did here was party. I literally had a partying schedule. Like Monday we'd go to L'Avenue, on Tuesday we do One Oak, on Wednesday we do Marquee, on Thursday we do One Oak, on Friday we do whatever. I was literally partying 7 days a week, and that was my life. And looking back, I don't understand how I managed that. I think since we've lived in New York, I've gone out maybe like twice.
Yeah, you have become a real party pooper.
Again? So I want to talk about like the different experiences you have in New York. I think that being in New York in your 30s, there's like this window. Like, I don't know if you are somebody who is already in your 30s, or if you're somebody who wants to have a family one day. I think there's this window between your 20s and 30s when you have enough freedom to live in a different city before you have family and kids, etc. And I don't know what the future will bring. I just know that New York is a very energetic city, and I don't think that if you want to start a family, this is the place to be. That's just an assumption, but based on how expensive the city is, I know from my friends who have kids here that it is very difficult, especially compared to like Germany, you know? So Jürgen,
yes,
if you would describe your experience of living in New York City in your 30s with one word, what would it be?
it's very uplifting.
I like that.
Should I elaborate or no? I noticed this especially this time when we came back from Berlin, how different the energy is here. And I think Berlin also has a great energy. That's why we also love it. But you arrive here and everyone's...
Different pace.
Yeah, everyone's in like an absolutely different pace. You have the feeling that everyone is on the verge of doing something important and you want to be part of that.
Also like my New York speed, like the way I walk here. Like, don't walk like that. This is too slow. Guys, we're in New York. Yeah, exactly. Like New York pace. So the interesting part is, for me, for New York, is that obviously it's very, very high energy. Like very high energy. And I love it. Especially when you arrive, you're so inspired. You want to do things. But there's this other thing that I noticed, and it is that after like 1 week or like after a few days, I noticed that I need to like adjust myself like energetically, and then I have these like cravings for my family, my friends in Europe, and I do have this few days of missing the quiet life, and then once I'm over that hill, I'm full on in New York City mode. But it takes time to adjust, and I notice this every single time I come back to New York. I find that very interesting. And then, so when did we move to New York?
Almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years.
No, it's been, I mean, we got the apartment, end of December of 21.
We moved in later.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's when we saw it for the first time.
Either way, almost 3 years.
Would you say New York has changed since then?
To me, the most interesting is that there's still a lot of people that tell you, oh, it was so different before COVID. And we've been to New York before COVID, obviously, but I don't feel that big of a difference. And then,
I mean, we haven't lived there before COVID.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's true. No, I think the city, it's obviously always changing, and there's new stores, new people, but the city itself hasn't changed.
I disagree. I feel like it's so much more full.
Yeah.
Especially this time of the year, it's busier than ever. And every year it keeps getting busier, no?
True, this time it's extremely busy. But it's also great weather, which is also one of the reasons why we love it so much. There might be a day or two of rain, but compared to other places we've lived in before,
Paris.
it's mostly sunny.
It's always sunny. This is like our weather.
And we are quite affected by weather, even though you could also just say, hey, it is what it is.
No, I'm very affected, and the thing is, in Paris it can rain for like 4 weeks in a row without one day off. That never happens here. Never. Let's list all the things we love about New York.
So I love the energy.
I love the diversity in the city of everything, like people, the buildings, the cultures, like different parts of the city are so different to each other, and it's so diverse.
I love that it's a city where everyone goes outside.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, who you are in the same places as everyone else. Yesterday?
Like Adam Sandler. Guys, Adam Sandler went inside Target, and I was there. I was like, there's no way that's Adam Sandler. And then a fan approached him, and I was like, oh my god, Adam Sandler goes to my Target. Are you for real?
I love all the coffee places here and to explore all of them.
Speaking of, there are so many great restaurants. I think New York City has one of the best food cultures in the world. You can have anything, and you can have anything for every price range. So even though New York is in itself very expensive, and that's like one of the parts we're gonna talk about later, I think that if you are on a budget, you can still have really great food here. Okay, what else?
I love meeting new people here.
Yeah.
As mentioned before, like everyone, no matter who you are, is out and about. So that means also that everyone can meet everyone. Anything can happen all the time.
So Jürgen is our social butterfly. And the funny thing is, people say that I'm a social butterfly. But the reality is, I am a social butterfly, but I'm also...
sloth.
Yeah, I'm a social sloth. Okay, so that's the other thing that sometimes happens in New York and that I notice about me, and I find it very interesting. After like 2 weeks in New York, I get into these moods where I just kind of withdraw from my environment and I stay in a lot. First of all, because I really, really love our apartment, and it has a very, very good atmosphere, and the energy is so good. I mean, that's how I justify it. And then I'm, oh, let me stay in. And then Jürgen is going out with friends.
I do.
He's like, do you want to join? And I'm like, no, I want to have some me time. And I think what happens is that after like a while in the city, that's my way of coping with the very intense and very high energy. And I really need to watch out, because I remember 2 years ago in 2022, I literally didn't leave my home for 2 weeks. I mean, I also got sick, but it's almost like it becomes too much, and you need to make sure that you don't get into this mood where you withdraw from everything, because it starts very small. Like, it's like, I'm skipping a dinner, I'm doing this, less that, blah blah blah, and then I stop leaving the house. So now I'm really paying attention to taking a walk, and
even if it's just a little one throughout the day.
Yeah, and you know, seeing friends, because we love our friends here. I think now it's okay, right? I don't have these like moments of withdrawing anymore.
Well, right now it's good, but also your family's here, so you are a little bit more active.
But I just wanted to also give you guys the real side of New York, because it is very intense, and I understand that it's too intense for some people. And to be honest, I think that's why this time, like the beginning of your 30s, is the best time to be in New York. I think this is our prime New York time, and then maybe once, you know, you've been there, done that, family life, or your kids are like older, then maybe you can do prime, because then you're also wealthier, so it's even more fun. And speaking of, we can talk about the worst part about New York City. That is
the money part.
So New York is extremely expensive. So expensive. And again, like if you want, you can live here on a budget.
But the city is kind of designed also to spend money wherever you go.
Exactly. Every time you leave the house, maybe that's why I withdrew. No, every time you go out, you spend so much money. Like we spend every morning just for coffee, $10. But then we have several coffees throughout the day. So I think just on coffees, we just spend a crazy amount of money. The food, well, we
could be more Not mindful, but I mean...
No, I mean, in the end, you're not doing that because it's also like a bit of a hole, like a black hole that
You can
sucks
go,
you
yeah,
in.
true.
And then you just spend so much more money than you intend, and that's New York, baby. I think that's the like biggest downside of the city. And then obviously it's a very dirty city. For me, I don't even notice it anymore because...
Yeah, that was funny, right? That your sister, I was like...
Yeah, my sister was like, oh my God, it's so dirty. Like I knew it's dirty, but it's even dirtier than I thought it would be. And I'm like, I don't even notice it anymore because I'm so like, for me, it's so much part of the aesthetic.
Yeah. It has to be dirty.
It has to be dirty. And she was like, oh my God, my new sneakers are dirty. And I'm like, girl, sneakers are supposed to be dirty. And of course, this is what we love about New York. Why is it so dark?
Because
it's dark? You're saying it's dark because it's dark?
It's dark because it's dark.
That's a weird concept.